So confidence is something I always struggled with for so many reasons. And I think we all have our insecurities, right? Whether they're true for somebody looking at you or whether they're true for yourself, whatever the case may be. Confidence is the sort of thing that we're always trying to achieve. We're always trying to get confidence. And it's like that saying, confidence isn't a destination. Confidence is a journey. It's a journey to become confident. Hello, my loves. Hello. Welcome to another Friday. It is Friday lesson time. So I wanted to talk again about confidence. I did because sometimes, confidence wavers, right? We're not always 100% confident. Confidence has ebbs and flows. Sometimes you feel very confident, sometimes you feel very, uncomfortable in a situation. And so I just want to share that is normal, that is typical, that is being human. Sometimes you feel really good at what you're doing, and sometimes you can do it again and not feel so great, right? As an actor, there are days you feel so confident, and then there's days you're like, did that come out okay? Did that register on the camera? And not just as an actor, as a human, but that's my profession, so that's what I can relate it to. So I say this because I've gotten a few cameo requests to talk about confidence, and I get a lot of really cool advice and pep talk type of cameo requests, which is really cool to me. But of course, confidence is something that I struggled with my whole life. So confidence is something I always struggled with for so many reasons. And I think we all have our insecurities, right? Whether they're true for somebody looking at you or whether they're true for yourself, whatever the case may be. Confidence is the sort of thing that we're always trying to achieve. We're always trying to get confidence. And it's like that saying, confidence isn't a destination. Confidence is a journey. It's a journey to become confident. And you could feel so confident and be like, yeah. And then all of a sudden something might strike you and pull the rug out from underneath you. And then you're like, what the heck just happened? I felt so good 5, 10, 15 minutes ago, yesterday, the day before. And then all of a sudden you're like, who, what the heck, right? So that's why I really wanted to address it, because I stumbled upon this book. It's my sister's book. And you could tell it's an older book. I don't know what year it's from, but in going through her stuff, I'm finding she used to love to read, and I love to read. And I'm finding lots of books, and they're all highlighted. So these are all her notes. And I came across this book, and it's thin. So I was like, I'm taking this one to Florida with me because it's not cumbersome to pack. So I took this one. It's called Confidence, Finding It and Living It by Barbara DeAngelis, PhD. So she is a doctor. I was going to say doctor, but then I didn't see a doctor in front of Barbara, but that's what PhD is. So she's a doctor. And I was like, okay, even though I'm feeling fairly confident right now, what if I ebb? I want another strategy. So I know we've done a video in the past where we talk about borrowing confidence from something that you feel really good at, right? Whether it's singing, dancing, writing, drawing, playing the guitar, whatever it is that you feel good about and you feel confident around. We've talked about borrowing that feeling and using it to kind of catapult you into something else that you don't feel as comfortable or confident in doing. And in doing so, you get a boost and you get a little bit of momentum and you get a little bit of spring in your step. And you're like, wait, if I'm good at booking travel, I'm really good at booking travel. If I'm good at booking travel, then you know what? I am gonna take up, I was gonna say fishing, but that would be a lie. I am not taking up fishing. Sorry, that's not my jam, but that's what was coming up to my head. So let's just go with it, right? So maybe as good as I am at booking travel, I can go fishing. And I know it's a ridiculous example, but I'm just saying, right? So it puts me in a position to be like, okay, I am gonna go out on a boat. I do love boating, so okay, the boating part I can do, and I used to have a boat, so I know how to drive one. But I'm gonna go out on the boat, I'm gonna take someone who knows how to fish, and I'm gonna ask them to put the thing that's gross on the end, because I'm not gonna touch it, and then I'm gonna put the stick in the water, and I'm gonna like hope that a fish, and just have fun with it, right? So I'm sitting there, and I could possibly borrow my confidence in one area and use it for another. And so I was reading this book, and she totally went the other direction with confidence. And I'm like, okay, cool. Let me learn this other way, because this way I have more than one way of striving for confidence. Because sometimes one thing works in one moment and it doesn't in another. As an actor, I can attest to this, because sometimes we need to cry on cue, and you're like, I'm gonna think of this, it's worked for me in the past, when this happened I got sad and it worked, and da da da, and then you're on camera and you're like, well, that didn't work. I couldn't produce the tears that it used to produce for me, because as we experience things, they're not quite as heavy or raw as perhaps they once were. So you don't have the outcome, or in my case, the tears that so often we are requested to have. So I have come to understand that we need multiple ways to get at what we want. So in this case, it's confidence. So I believe confidence is a journey. It's not a destination. You're not going to arrive at being confident the day after tomorrow because you're going to think yourself confident. In my opinion, I ain't no doctor, but I have not had that to be the case, and I haven't heard anyone else to have gotten to a place of confidence by just thinking it and stepping over a rock and landing on confidence the next day. Like, that's not how it works. The most confident people are people who do things over and over and over and over again until you're confident that you can deliver on that deliverable, right? So for me, acting, initially I was not comfortable or confident acting. I did not go to acting classes or school as a child or as a teen, or I became an actor later in life. So I did not feel comfortable or confident acting. I feel it now because I've done it a good amount of times, but it's something I had to work through and to. And just because I'm confident acting, let's say today, doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to wake up in tomorrow's scene, because it's different, that I'm going to be confident in that. So that's why I wanted to propose what Dr. Barbara DeAngelo says. And it's really intuitive what she says, which is why I love it. So she says, true confidence doesn't come from you not having any fear. It comes from trusting yourself to act in spite of your fear, right? So I wanted to highlight this because sometimes I feel like we may have heard that as a definition of courage, right? So why I think that's so important to remember is that so often we think that we can just do one thing one time and we're going to be confident at it. No, we need to do it repeatedly to gain the confidence. And I feel like y'all who may be younglingers than myself, perhaps, we have had enough life experience that we trust that we are going to get through it, right? That is one of the biggest, most incredible things about getting older, is that there's this trust that you can work through things. You can figure things out. That is something that comes with age and experience. Perhaps you may not feel that way yet, and that's okay. You haven't had the years or the experience to perhaps have that trust that you're like, oh man, no matter what, I'm going to get through it, right? And this is like a recent thing for me where I'm like, I feel that. So give yourself grace. I'm not expecting you to be there yet. However, what I did want to deliver on is the fact that what have you already gone through? In perhaps your short life, what have you already been through? Think about all the things that you have overcome, that you have really been able to push through and push forth and keep pushing forward. And think about those things and be like, wow, we are different than we were just 1 year ago. We are different than we were certainly 5 years ago, perhaps different than what we were 5 weeks ago, right? Things continue to change and we continue to evolve. And what that means for you is that you can begin to have the trust that you are going to be able to get through whatever is presented in front of you. And it's being presented in front of you because it is preparing you for whatever is coming next. You are becoming stronger and you are growing. And that is what we use life experience for, right? So that we can grow and evolve. And why that is so important is that little by little, you start to garner this strength. You start to garner this like bravery and this courage and this understanding and this acceptance that everything is gonna be okay. It might not be perfect right now, but really, when is it ever? Never, ever will it be perfect. It's just an unrealistic expectation. But you're okay. You're fine. You're gonna be more okay and more fine. And so I really want us to focus on how we can get more confident based on Dr. DeAngelis by acting in spite of our fear, so we can get more self-awareness and self-understanding. And that, I thought, was a really cool way to remind ourselves that if we're not feeling confident right now, then we can just act despite the discomfort. And that will garner us more confidence. It seems a little bit more far-reaching for me. However, she is a doctor. And I just wanted to offer you a different way to get to feeling confident if the borrowing method or the stacking method, and I'll make sure to put the video in the description or, again, in the cards. But it's like sometimes we need multiple ways of getting to something. And that's why I thought I wanted to focus on this. So she goes on to say, here's the good news. You can increase your feeling of confidence within a few minutes, even within a few seconds. All you have to do is accomplish something that brings you one step closer to one of your goals, and your confidence will instantly grow. The moment you take even the first step of action towards achieving a dream, your sense of confidence will begin expanding because you'll trust that you can count on yourself. The more steps you take, the better you'll feel about yourself because you are doing. And that new confidence will help you create even better results. So I talked about fishing. Okay, you want to hear her example? And I'm not mocking it. It's just that it's one that we can't relate to at all. Let's say your goal is that you want to learn how to operate a computer. What year is this thing from? And I'm not mocking the older generations who don't know how to use a computer, but it just goes to show, oh my gosh, this is from 1995. How many of you were not born yet in 1995? But I hope that helped. I hope that gave you another stepping stone to get to where you can feel more confident in what you want to accomplish. So whether you want to do the borrowing method, which for me is a fun way to try new things, and trying to do just the thing you want to do so you can gain more confidence. So I hope you can see the distinction. I hope this is a cool talking point for us. So I am going to say, y'all are incredible. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for being what we are as the Friday Fry fam, and how amazing it is that we get to do this every so often. And really, you make me so proud. I am so proud of all of you. I am so grateful for all of you. Have an amazing weekend. Happy Friday. And remember, stay light and bright and lead the way, my loves. Lead the way. All right. Till next time. Bye, everybody.
So if you liked this video, go check out the others. I got lots of videos on this channel, so keep watching.